Yeah, right. Hello, everyone. How you all doing? Thank you for tuning in to episode number 3 for Walking by Faith Memoirs. I am so privileged and so excited to have my friend Fatia Doster, CEO and owner of Juice to Find, the only juice bar in Opalaka. The only on the bab.
On the bab. On the bab.
Okay, and I just had to bring her in because probably the next year I would have to book her and pay her a lot of money because she's gonna be on.
Jesus.
She's gonna be on all these platforms and stuff, and it's gonna be so hard to get her. So I'm like, let me get this young lady in here now. And her story is amazing. Make sure you go follow her on, and what's their Instagram handle?
At Juice Defined on Instagram, also on Facebook, and you can find me there.
Yes,
pretty much the only social platforms I use.
And so her story is amazing. We're pressed for time that we can't go into it, but she's been through a lot, and because of her journey, that opened up the door for her to do juicing that literally healed her body.
Literally. Yes.
And so, once you look at, believe me, go on her Instagram page, is full of all kind of stuff. And she's here to help you heal your body as well through juicing. So I'm just so thrilled. But I wanted to go in a different aspect because not only is she a CEO and owner of her own company, she also was a real estate investor.
Yes. What a journey. That's for real.
Yeah. So I had the privilege of finding her first property some years back. And tell me about that process with the finding the property. Now, at the time, I would say we was in a buyer's market for the most part because it was a good amount of properties. It wasn't like how it is now. So when we was looking, you was very particular. I think you was focused on budget.
I was focused on budget. I was like, well, first of all, let's start here. First of all, I'm honored to be sitting here with the real estate goat, number one. And I'm real proud of you because the moment you hit the floor with real estate, like you literally took off. Like literally took off. Like I don't know nobody in the short amount of time that accomplished all the stuff that you have in real estate. That's a big deal. So I'm honored to be sitting here with you because, anytime I got questions, I'm like, let me
Oh, yeah. She be texting me.
I'll be like, girl,
all
you
the time.
Girl, what if I did this? What you think?
She give me the
So listen, it's no fees because I know we pick each other brain and we talk and we do. So it's absolutely reciprocated. So I love you for that.
Thank you.
But going back to my experience, first of all, I didn't even believe I could get a house. Khalil told me, like, girl, go for it, okay? And basically, like, pushed me into the mindset that, like, you can be a homeowner.
Yeah.
And so that just go to show, number one, that first of all, when you don't think things are possible or you don't think that you are ready or all of these other things that come up when it's time to purchase and it's, a conversation, you don't really know the reality of what you're capable of.
And that's my whole goal is, like I always say, is educating. And sometimes you just not knowing you have all the tools, you just got to align them in the right way. Right. So you was pretty much aligned for the most part. I don't know if did we have to do some prepping before?
We did. I think we did quite a bit of prepping because there was some things that I think on a credit, like credit wise, I had to clean up. But for the most part, like I was in a really good place. Yeah. And so I can't say it wasn't still stressful, but it was still overall a really good experience, especially knowing the outcome. You know what I mean? Like when you see the outcome, then it changed everything.
Yeah.
So I was grateful for that. But, you know, the beginning part was, you know, I'm like, oh,
and what did you buy?
So we end up getting a 2-1.
And that's a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom.
Oh yeah, a 2-bedroom, 1-bathroom, single family home. Yeah, I don't know all the terms that good. So yeah, but it had a big backyard. You remember the yard was huge. And the house just was, it was kind of updated too, because it was already kind of renovated. I think the only thing that was not renovated was the rest of the bathroom. But it wasn't bad, but it just was not like modern.
Yeah, where was it located?
And it was located right in Miami Gardens, but on the cusp of Miami Gardens and Opelika. Okay. That was good.
And let me ask you, when you said, when it was about that time that you just, I guess, woke up and was like, I'm ready. Was it more or less like you were seeing things on social media? Or was it really just, okay, I have the money now? Or was it like a outside source that motivated you to do that? Do you remember?
I think it was more or less, you know, just being able to accomplish something. Yeah. I felt like, okay, what's the next step in life? Like I was already working on business. It's like I need to find another avenue that I can kind of conquer, if you will, you know. So that was a big part of it.
And then you had the funds and stuff for it, or had the means to get it.
I had the means to get it. And so that meant a lot too. Because I was like, okay, well, if I ain't going to spend it on a house, then I'll probably spend it on, you know, probably nothing that's an investment, so to speak.
And did you have your business at that time? Or you
had I did. I was still working from home. And I had the W-2 job. So I had two, like those two incomes coming in, which was good.
But what I recall is that you was not able to use your self-employment income because it wasn't structured the correct way. So what that means is, you know, when you are self-employed, you have to have your tax returns on point, and you have to pay Uncle Sam, meaning that you have to tell Uncle Sam that I made a profit. A lot of people, what we do to avoid getting taxed, we deduct a lot of our income. And then when you're ready to buy a house, they're going to look at that reduced income to qualify you for a house. So at that time, you know, a lot of us, we don't know that. You know, we just the tax preparers want to save taxes as much as possible. So they're like, you know, we're going to deduct everything. I call it the trunk. Where you make all this money and you only pay $2 for taxes is possible. But good thing about it is that she still was doing the W-2 work, and she was very smart to do it at that time, because what if she said, you know what, I'm gonna wait till I make a lot of money with my business, and then it would have been hard, you know, because she was able to get in at that time, because at that particular time the houses was affordable for her.
Yes,
definitely. At that time. So what was your ultimate goal for this house at first? Because I feel like she tell me what the goal was. I didn't know. But
so what had happened was, my intention was to move in, but then I kind of got cold feet towards the end, and I was just like, I didn't really want to like uproot everything and just move to a different place. And then that's another journey. You know what I mean? So it's a major change. And so I don't think that I was ready, because I had been living in the same house I've been living in my whole life. So it was hard to be like, okay, let me just uproot and move to a new space. So I just came up with this bright idea that I want to do Airbnb, and I want to do all of the trends that, you know, we were seeing all over social media and all that stuff. And then I was like, you know what, this Airbnb ain't finna work. Because it's a lot of, first of all, it's a lot of money to invest to start up. And then on top of that,
furniture, you got insurance, you got to make sure somebody's there to clean it up. It's a lot.
And then you have to market it so that you can make money. And I think at that time, because I was already in business doing something else and trying to, you know, build that, I was like, am I just ready for that? I don't think I was ready for it.
Yeah.
And so I said, okay, well, I could just do a long-term rental type of situation and find a tenant and, allow the tenant to just stay.
Yeah.
And obviously, I felt like, okay, that still can work.
Yeah.
Like that still was a viable option. So I decided to go that route versus doing the Airbnb thing.
Okay. And then for the tenant, you did a Section 8.
Yes.
You did Section 8. How was that process to get into the system?
So with the Section, it was not really hard at all. I did have some guidance. So I was able to, get the application and everything filled out, turned in, and I feel like it was a fairly quick turnaround because I can't remember the month that we closed on the house. But I probably had a tenant in there probably like not even 3 months. I don't think, maybe not even 3 months later. So it wasn't it wasn't that long of a process. Yeah. Obviously with working with Section 8, like the funding is there. So they pay on time.
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about that.
But you got a paper check or you got electronic?
They have either option.
Okay.
They have either option. Back then they did. So I don't know if they still doing that now. But yeah, you have an option. I would get paper checks though.
Yeah.
So they would mail the checks to me and I would just deposit it. And every month, same day.
Yeah.
Every month.
So did you have to apply to be in the system first? Okay. So it's an application process.
There's an application process. You have to fill out the application process. They have to come out and inspect the home, make sure it's up to a certain standard.
Did you have any issues there?
I didn't. We didn't have no issues. I don't remember having any issues. Because everything was pretty, like the house was almost like, it was in tip top shape for the most part. So we didn't have any issues with the inspection. They came. Do you remember? I don't think I had a problem with the ACs. I don't think that was an issue. So yeah, there was no issues. We got approved real quick and it was a go.
Okay. So, so you did the application process and the tenant, how did you find the tenant? Did you do that on your own? Or did you get another realtor or?
Yeah. So I got another realtor, and this was also the realtor that helped me apply for the Section 8 and get all the things approved. She also helped me find a tenant. So I was able to find a tenant fairly quickly because, that's more like her market. Like she will. So she found me a tenant real quick. And she moved in with her 2 kids and, and that was a quick process.
And you see, but so realtors, as you can see, realtors, we help. But buying a home, renting, and you have a property, we can rent it out for you. Yeah. So, and that takes a lot of headache out of it, I guess.
It really does.
As far as the Section 8, what was her responsibility?
Oh, that's what I'm saying. That's where I messed up at. Right?
Okay. Okay. Let's give people the
real, because it ain't all it's cracked up to be. Not to discourage anybody from doing it, but you live and you learn. I would do it again if I could, but it was a learning experience. Okay, so when I got the house, remember initially I was gonna move in, so I ended up getting the security locks. I ended up getting Wi-Fi, all of these things because I was intending on moving in. But then I changed my mind. Okay. And I still had the stuff. Yeah. And so when the tenant got ready to move in, stupid me was just okay, just you could keep the Wi-Fi, you could keep you could keep the security system, you could keep all of these things.
And you were gonna include it in the
the thing was Section 8 only paid so much. So there was no there was no tussling with the price. What they gave is what they gave, right? It's no wiggle room. So I was just okay, just switch the internet into your own name. The security system I kept in my name, obviously. The water was in my name, so water was basically included in the rent.
Well, that's not a big deal.
So it was. Yes, it was. So let's start there.
Let's get into that.
About the time. Okay, well, first of all, let me just say this, that the house was a dated house because I think the house was built in the 20s or something. Yeah. So it was an older house.
Yes.
Revamped, granted, but we still was on the septic, which was another problem. A septic system is that's so old and outdated.
And septic system is basically, it's not on sewer. So the the county is not controlling the waste
Right.
stuff.
Which means we have
The
to
owner controls.
contract someone to come in, clean it out. If it's clogged, whatever it is, we have to get somebody to come in and actually do that work. So because the house was a little bit dated, and like when leaks and stuff would happen, like the water bill would go like sky high. And not to mention that time she had a water party for her baby in the backyard and ran the water bill to this astronomical number. Granted, when I presented it to her, she definitely did like repay the money and all of that stuff. So but it was just still the hassle of you seeing a $500 water bill and you looking like.
You would never think that having a septic tank would cause other bills to go up.
Absolutely. And it's also the positioning of it, because it was the system was right in the front yard.
Okay.
So if you can't drive on it or anything, because you'll crack the lid and all, that was a whole other thing. So it was just a lot of finagling with that system.
Yeah. You gotta learn a lot as you go.
Yeah. But overall, like I say, the experience was overall, it was a good experience, a good learning experience to know what to do if I decide to do it again.
Okay. Did she pay your money?
She paid she paid the money. She paid the money. And like I said, it overall was a good experience. Even when she moved out, like, there was some things that had to be done. Like obviously like paint the walls and patch up things here and there.
So she didn't trash the place.
The place was not trashed, but obviously it was like
it was kids there.
It was kids there, and then a pet wasn't supposed to be there. But anyway, that's another thing, So these are the issues you have to deal with when they sit up and down. We ain't had no dog. I'm like, girl, well, who chewed up the bottom of the door? Tell me, right? Did your baby do that?
And let's be clear, that's not only Section 8. This is anybody. Will try you.
Anybody. Yeah, I ain't pointing. I mean, that was my experience with Section 8, but that's definitely not to say all tenants are like that. But overall, it was a decent experience. A lot of learning curves, but you learn what to do. Like, I know not all utilities go in their name, not mine.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. And I,
What else would you do different?
I think I will also like do inspections, because is that legal?
Yeah.
Because I was like, okay, I should have been trying to do something like at least every 6 months or something like that, or quarterly, like just to make sure the house is not in freaking shambles.
Yeah.
On move out day.
And you got to put it on. You got to put it in the lease.
Oh, so that you have to put that.
You put in there. Because anything you want done, you can put in the lease that you're going to do inspections every month or 2 months, but you just got to let them know. And then of course you can't barge in there,
right? That's
illegal. But if you call them and say, hey, I'm coming, please work it out, and you able to come in. Absolutely. Especially when it comes down to housing, they're expecting you to keep up with your property, and then let them know if there's any issue.
Yeah, so I definitely would do that differently. I think I would just, instead of just leaving them to their own devices, I would absolutely, and I would use the property manager for some things. Like if there was some communication that need to be had, or if there was like, some type of maintenance or anything like that, like the property manager would obviously like coordinate those things.
Yeah. Did you look into property management? How much they was running at that time?
Oh, gosh. I can't remember. It was, I want to say it was probably a couple hundred, but I don't think it was like astronomical.
An
astronomical fee. Because I mean, the work was, it was all kind of minimal. Because I think, like I say, unless there was like some communication that need to be had, like that water bill.
Yeah.
I'm still traumatized.
I know.
But something like that. If it was something about communication with any kind of funding issue, like funds when it came to like certain bills or things like that. And then move out, that type of stuff. So it wasn't like, I wasn't saying like, can you do the monthly inspection or, however long, like we didn't never coordinate an inspection to check on the property. So I think like, that's probably what I would do different now that I know, like you could put that as a term.
Yeah, you could definitely, you're the boss. So now bottom line, was it worth it? The money, did you get a good profit? Did you plan out the finances?
I didn't. That's another thing I would do differently. Like I would literally map out how like you have to, this with any business, right? You have to be able to do projections. You got to be able to know, like, how much profit you're gonna make. Like, I don't think I did not make a profit onto the household. I think that when I had the tenant, I was breaking even. I was breaking even, and that's a learning lesson for me. So it just wasn't it. I would structure it differently, but I would do it again. I would just structure it differently, and I would, have the financials in place prior to actually renting out to a tenant.
Yeah.
And Section 8 wasn't bad. Like I say, if you got to do your own numbers. Yeah, you do what you got to do. Do your numbers. I mean, I couldn't imagine the housing market now because I'm sure like it would be probably 3 times whatever they was
definitely
paying.
Well, just another thing too, as a landlord, there's documents and like spreadsheets that you could use to help with your finances, and it's called an income and expense sheet. And it's where you put down all of your expenses, the money that's coming in, and the form like calculate it all for you, because you're supposed to have reserves. See, the problem is that when we doing these rentals, you have to look at the amount of money that you're getting, and then you have to put aside a certain percentage of that money just in case the water bill or something horrible happens to the property and is not dipping into your profit.
Yeah.
So it is important to do it. But you see where what happened with Fatia was that she did not plan on doing that. She was going to, just move in, but then it's crunch time because that mortgage was coming.
Yep.
you know,
do something.
And so she had to think quick, and it worked out that at least she broke even instead of being in a deficit.
Right.
So no matter what, real estate helped her pay her mortgage.
Definitely helped pay the mortgage.
Yeah, because now, as far as the future for you with real estate, what is going to be something you're going to do? Are you going to do the same single family home thing? Since you have a business, are you going to do more commercial now? What do you think you want to do?
So I have high hopes about commercial owning, commercial property owning. So I think that that's something I'm looking forward to, like as a long-term goal. And then I absolutely would love to get into the residential space again. Like I think that's a little more manageable on a lot of fronts. But I definitely would love to own, like if we opened another location, like I would want to buy versus rent, or and I can see as a tenant from that angle, so I could see little things that
absolutely
I could do differently, or do the same, or what makes sense, what doesn't make sense. And so I would love to tap into the commercial space. I think that'd be a good thing.
And I would, what I would like to do, I want to partner up. I'm seeing all over that people are coming together and putting their funds together. It's like in this market right now, it's really hard to do stuff by yourself.
Yeah.
So like I see myself, you, and other, entrepreneurs and 9 to 5 working, anybody that have the money that will invest in big apartment buildings.
That would be a really good idea. And it does help when you together with a trusted group of people or investors that you could trust, or that's about doing something versus
because I've seen Fatia's work ethic, and I know she can follow through. She see me, she see that I can follow through on a business plan, and so that's going to be a key thing. So you never know, y'all might see, and then we might be soliciting.
Yeah, getting
that. But it's like a must. The real estate is a must, and it is a blessing.
It definitely is,
because the home that your mom had purchased is blessing you.
Exactly.
Generations down the line.
That's a real key, it really is. And I always tell people, when people have this perception about moving away from wherever they grew, whatever their personal situation is, when you look at it from a generational point of view, to me, that matters to me.
Yeah, exactly.
So, I could do whatever. I could fix it up, whatever, make
Mhm.
it my own. Obviously, it's not the same way it was when I was growing up.
Yeah.
But it definitely has benefited my
Mhm.
family in a number of ways. And so I appreciate that.
Yeah.
I
And then this
appreciate
the
that.
first home you end up selling it.
Yes, so
Yeah.
I
So
did end
that
up selling
Section 8
it.
home selling it.
And we sold it at a good profit. So that was
Yeah.
good.
Hello.
I made money on the back end. I ain't make none on the front, but I made some on the back.
Yeah.
And that
that
was a
helped your
blessing. That helped me
business.
start my business. And so
See.
that helped me get the storefront location. It funded that, along with some other funds I had. And I think like that was the real blessing.
I'm
Like,
telling you.
okay, I see how it worked out, and so I think that was the real kicker for me.
And that's the thing, is like it's not cookie cutter with this real estate stuff. It's like some people, they were able to hold on to their properties and buy and buy and buy. Then some people, whatever circumstances that happened in their life, they had to sell, but they sold, and she was able to get another profitable adventure, from that. And that's the whole point.
Yeah.
And so that's great. Well, I just thank you so much for your time.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, and I just want everybody to know, just you could see the different facets of life, where she's able to be a business owner, she could be a real estate investor. She had her ups and her downs, and just how everything worked together. But I say I'm just a big advocate about real estate. Yes, the market looks a little shaky, to some people, but to me, I feel there's always an opportunity, no matter what market it is. Get yourself educated. Contact me, call me. Fatia message me all the time, be like, hey, I saw she this girl text me and saw a big old trailer. What was it? A mobile?
Yes.
What kind of home was it?
Girl, it was some type of those
aluminum homes.
Yeah. Oh my God, I can't think of the name right now.
Oh my gosh.
But basically those little modern homes, those little tiny homes that they be building,
Yeah. And it was on a trailer. And I said, she was in motion.
It come already built. They put it on the property already built.
Yes, yeah. And she was in the car, and I could see the picture. She was like, there you go. And I was just like, oh my God. And it's just so exciting. There's so many different avenues that you can do to make money and everything like that. And just call me, ask me, hey, what do you think about this? I'm not that type to be like, oh God, like what is she gonna be?
She do love. She lived this. Okay, this is her lane and what she does. And that's why when I text her, I'm like, I don't have nobody else to talk to about it, so I'm texting.
And I be so excited. I done called City of Miami Gardens and was like, hey, can y'all, is this allowed? Because this allowed for promoting.
Got me right here looking like a snitch child. Oh Lord.
And the person was like, yeah, girl, go down the street and let me know the address of where you see that house. Oh my God. That was it's amazing. But I really appreciate your time here, and I know you're super busy. Y'all go check out Juice of Fire. Let me tell you, please tell them what all that you sell, please.
Come by. We are located in Opa-locka, right in the heart of Opa-locka, right on Alibaba, 854 Alibaba Avenue. We're open 7 days a week. You can always place your orders online, or you can come in the store and place your orders. We open at 7 a.m. to 5 p.m. on the weekdays, and on the weekends we open 9 to 5. And currently we have a special, our Cleanse with Intention 2024. So if you're looking to hold yourself accountable for an entire year, we got your back. So go on our website, check out Cleanse with Intention, or come by the store and pay us a visit.
That sounds good. And you got juices. I mean, you got snacks too, right?
Yeah, juices, smoothies, shots, detoxes. We do some small vegan-friendly snacks, chia pudding, smoothie bowls, empanadas. So we have salads, mushroom bowls. So we try to keep it real light. Some people can grab and go. And that's our niche. Our niche is grab and go. We want to make it convenient for you to eat healthy, always vegan, no dairy, no meat products in the store ever. So that's our niche.
That's your niche. And also you got this flight thing going
Yes, you
right, and
gotta
you
come
be on,
by.
yeah, and
Yes, you
you're
gotta
gonna be
come by.
filmed and be on social media.
Yes, so you have to
Mm-hmm.
come by, do the Opalaka flight or the first class flight. That's a play on Opalaka Airport, how we had the flight with the
Oh,
air. Yeah, you know.
okay.
Anyway, so yeah, so yeah, you come by. The Opalaka flight is a series of 5 different shots. We
Mm-hmm.
serve it to you on a wooden platter,
Oh,
and you take all 5 shots back to back. It gives you a boost of energy. It builds your immune system. And it also kind of helps just keep you healthy and alert. So come by,
nice.
if you up for the challenge. We have to record you so we can put it on our social media and show other people how well you did. So
Mm-hmm.
come by.
Honey, she got some big names doing that flight. So y'all better get in there, okay? But anyways, love you,
Love
friend.
you. Thank
Okay. Can't wait
you.
for the next episode. Thank y'all. And this is Kalia Nurse, Real Estate Pro, the real estate pro that loves Jesus and
Yeah.